who is the narcissist. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about today. In the world that we live in today, there are many people using this word narcissist, and maybe rightfully so. There probably is so many narcissists. But one thing to know about them and about most psychological and mental disorders is that they are all spectrums. Spectrums means that there's a 0 level and there's a 100% level, and there's somewhere in between. So some people are somewhere in between that spectrum. The more narcissist they are, the worse. The less narcissistic they are, the better. Okay, it truly is a disease. So my definition that I've come across that works with all amongst all narcissists is simply this: that they will do something wrong and they will make you think you are wrong. Simple definition. No need for fancy terms and explanations and all these other things. A person who does this is a narcissist. Okay, narcissists, they are very arrogant. Arrogant is a person who looks down at people and thinks highly of themselves. So they always have the sign of arrogance in them, the evil quality of arrogance. Secondly, they're very entitled, that they think I deserve this, I deserve this, I deserve this, and they get so much as it is, but they still feel like they deserve to have more and more. Pretty much want someone almost worshipping them, and that's quite a strong word to use. But worshipping, by that I mean not associating partners with Allah, obviously, but doing everything for them. They want you to become their slave. Okay, they literally want a slave. Okay, and then when you become their slave, they don't respect you at all. They won't respect you because they won't respect a slave. But the truth is, they don't respect anyone. A person like this, a narcissist, they don't respect anyone. They only respect themselves. And they only truly, so this is the third, fourth sign now, they only care about themselves. And when they only care about themselves, what does it mean? They only care about their image of themselves. They don't truly care about themselves, because if they did, they would change from inside. They would change from within. If you truly care about someone, you want to change from within, because that is the person, the character, the quality, the mindset, the heart. That is the real person, the spirit. This outward thing, that just goes old with time. The body, the image. One day you look nice, the other day you don't. Just try not get a haircut for 3 months, for example, or don't shave, or don't shower. You'll see no one will want to stay next to you. So, but the spirit is such a beautiful thing, and the character and the heart and the mind, that you don't really have to do much other than protect it and preserve it and prevent harm from coming to it, and it just becomes better and better and better. It becomes more and more multiplied and beautified with time. So coming back to narcissism. So what do? They believe that they are entitled, that you're the wrong, they've done something wrong, but they'll say that you've done it. And one of the worst things is this: they actually believe it. Now, if you believe that they're lying, then you might think that I want them just to tell the truth. I just want the truth out of them. But what you have to realize, and this might take a long time, it might happen the hard way, but you have to realize that they actually believe that they're telling the truth. And when you realize this, that will be your aha moment, that this person actually believes that they're telling the truth, and all these lies, they see the world in a whole different way. They see every scenario, situation that you've been in with them in a different way. That's when you realize that there's only one thing you can do. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows this in the Holy Quran, and I'm going to show you these signs that I've mentioned in Shaytaan. Okay, the final thing to do with the narcissist, I'm going to mention at the end of the video. So look at Shaytaan as the narcissist. Now, he's the master narcissist. Narcissists are worse than hypocrites, in my honest opinion. Why? Because hypocrites, narcissists are hypocrites, a different type, but they're the worst type. So hypocrites, they don't believe in something, but behind your back, they go and say the truth. What they really truly believe. In front of your face, they're really nice. Behind your back, they're really bad. So at least with some people, their real face comes out with other fellow hypocrites. But with a narcissist, they're even more worse than this. Why? Because that person that they deceive is themselves. The hypocrite is trying to deceive everyone else, but a few people they try not to deceive. The narcissist tries to deceive everyone and themselves. They deceive everyone and themselves. So what could be worse than deceiving yourself? Yeah. So Okay, coming back to the Shaytaan. So Shaytaan, he was raised on this earth. There were many jinnat. There was a time when there was only jinn, no human beings, and they were fighting, and there were so many wars, so many fights and massacres between jinnat. Shaitan, he was called Azazil, Iblis at the time, and he, so more than one name, different names are used for him. So he was worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that time, and there were prophets amongst jinnat, and he was a companion of a prophet. He was a companion of a prophet jinn. So he was helping with them, with the prophet jinn at the time. And also it's mentioned in the many stories and narrations that he would worship for so long, and long periods of time and so on. So the prophet jinn at this time passed away, and the world just became slightly worse with time, and more fighting. He secluded himself, and he just continued worshipping. So then there came a point where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to destroy these jinn, the shayateen that were fighting. But the angels asked about this particular jinn, that about Iblis, Shaitan. Why? Oh Allah, what to do with him? He is worshipping you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned to raise him, take him to the heavens. So he was then taken to the heavens. But before I go any further, I want you to know what was he doing then. When he was worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the earth, he was not truly worshipping Allah. This we need to understand. He was actually worshipping himself. Why? The reason is that when everyone else is doing something bad around you, and you're the only one doing something good, you can either be doing that something good to actually truly be good and connected to Allah, or you're doing it to outwardly be better than everyone else. So he wanted to be seen by all these other jinnat and shayateen. Well, yeah, they were shayateen as well. He wanted to be seen by all of them that I'm better than them. Look at them doing that fighting and so on. I'm doing this, so I'm better than them. So that's what he wanted, to be known to be the best one. And that's why he was doing the worship. So then he was raised because outwardly he was doing something good. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted good for him. He wanted to purify him. He wanted him to be guided and so on. So he was raised. In the heavens, many other good things outwardly happened. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him, time to spend with angels. He was able to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in so many different locations. He had the chance to see the hurs of paradise, the spouses of paradise, and he never even looked at them. Okay, so just imagine that level, that I won't even look at the world or distractions, only Allah. But why? Again, he didn't truly worship Allah. He didn't truly love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He only was doing those things to raise himself, that this is how purified and good and so on I am. So when the time came to that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to create Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the physical body of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, from earth, from special materials on earth. And what Shaitan, he's a jinn, so he was able to fly and become smokeless. So he went inside the blessed body, in and out, disrespectfully, very disrespectfully. And the angels were slightly scared because they only have knowledge that Allah gives them. So they didn't have the knowledge of who Hazrat Adam alayhi salam is and will be. So they were afraid. And, Shaitan was saying to them, Iblis was saying to them that you don't need to be scared of this. Yeah, he's nothing. It's just a statue. He was disrespecting the sculpture that Allah subhanahu was creating. Now, then when came the time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala finally blew the spirit in Hazrat Adam alayhi salam and commanded everyone, all angels, including Jibreel alayhi salam and Shaitan, who was the Iblis, to bow down. You see, the angels would do it anyway. They would do it anyway. They would, because they cannot disobey Allah's command. Only humans and jinn can disobey Allah's command because we have free will. So really, what that actually means is that it was for him. It was for him because everyone else would have done it anyway. But he had the freedom of will. He was the only one who had the freedom of will to do that or not do that. So then what that meant was when he didn't do it, he was showing Allah Allah SWT gave him a chance that, oh Iblis, why have you not bowed down to Hazrat Adam alayhi salam? Iblis said that I am better than him. And he gave his reasons and excuse. So look at this reason and excuse. And he said, I am made out of smokeless fire. He's made out of clay. He's made out of clay. So this is what he said. I'm made out of smokeless fire. He's made out of clay. In other words, what Shaytaan is saying is, Allah, you made me this way. You're to blame. That's what he's saying now. You're to blame because you made me better than him. So Shaytaan is saying that I am better than him, but even me being better than him is not my fault, it's your fault. That is what he's saying. And that is the highest level of disrespect. He is his own fault that he has, he's blaming that upon someone else. Upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of all beings, he's blaming the creator. So now look back at what I said about narcissist right at the beginning. Narcissist is the one who they do something wrong and they blame someone else for it. So Shaytaan, he had one of the worst qualities that you could ever possibly have, which was arrogance. He still has it now. And he blamed Allah for his own arrogance. But so can you see? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all Allah ever did for him was chance after chance after chance to guide him, to help him, to purify him. But what the narcissist always did, deflected that oh, it's not for me. Oh, it's not for me. It's for that person. It's for that person. I don't need this. I don't need that. Always twisting the truth, manipulating it, and thinking it's not for me. It's for someone else. And just always diverting. Finally, when what did Allah do? So this tells us what to do with the narcissist, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did with Shaytaan. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do? Allah told him to get out. Yeah, he was exiled. Get out. So, with a narcissist, there's many psychologists today saying there's only one thing you can do with a narcissist. And the one thing that you can do is to leave. Either you leave or they leave. In most cases, narcissists don't leave, okay, until they know that they can't get anything more from you, but that's quite rare, okay? So you've got to leave. The person who is being abused, you've got to leave. Obviously, Shaytaan can't abuse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will exile him. But what we need to understand when we deal with narcissistic people like Shaytaan, we have to leave that person. So get rid of Shaytaan from your life. That's one thing, because in one sense you can't, because he's always going to be here to whisper to you, but you can protect yourself. You can learn how to fight Shaytaan on all the different levels, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, in many different ways. And then the more that you can stop yourself from being attacked by Shaytaan, the more he will try something else and something else, and the more doors you will close. That's called purification. Now, but then with it, when it comes to human beings, that's something different as well. So how do you protect yourself from narcissists? You might think that, oh, I'm thinking bad of someone, that this person is. No. If someone is behaving with you in a bad way, then they have shown their own self to you. You've not looked for their fault. They've shown it to you. Now you know the reality. Once you know that reality, it's your responsibility to keep yourself safe. That don't go near someone who, if someone keeps stabbing you, what do? Go near them? No, of course not. If you go near them, they keep stabbing you, then the only thing that can be said is, yes, they should be in jail, but you're a little bit out of your mind for going near them. So don't go near the narcissist. Get away from them. Break that tie, that relationship. If it's a family tie, like a not husband, wife, like a father, mother, and so on, then you've got to be extra careful because you can't break that tie. But these other ties, for example, someone that you don't know, like a friend, like someone a bit further away, those ties you can keep your distance from, a lot of distance from. You don't have to have them in your life. But a narcissist is really difficult when they're in your life. If it's a husband or wife, yes, you can break that tie. You can divorce. You can leave. When it's someone else like parent, then you can do healthy boundaries. You need really, really strong, healthy boundaries defined, and you've got to be prepared, okay? Because it's with someone who you're blood related, it's going to be a lifelong battle. So I'm going to summarize what I said about narcissists. They very arrogant, see the world through their own eyes, self-centered. They lie, but they believe their lies. And one of the biggest ones is when they do something wrong and they make you think you've done it wrong. Now, tell me in the comments if you've experienced a narcissist and what you did about it, how it made you feel.